Mental health care has been a big part of our national conversation, recently, especially the last couple of years. More of us realizing now that reaching out for help is wise, not shameful. Depression, for example. Let's learn 5 basics about it right now. Christine Cauwels is a mental health counselor who provides services and resources online. Here with 5 things that she wants us to know about depression. Christine, hi, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
Well, I'm well. Thank you. I'm glad we're talking about this because we can't overtalk depression. So many of us know, we all know people, and maybe even ourselves, going through this. Your first point about depression being more than feeling blue. Let's talk about that.
Right. So depression is not just feeling sad. I think sometimes colloquially we will throw that word around, but it's actually more than that. Everybody has highs and lows, ups and downs, but depression is a serious medical illness, and it can have negative effects on how you feel, think, act, and more than just feeling down.
And so that's the difference between just being, okay, I'm sad today because something sad happened. If my actions and my feelings and my thoughts are affected on a regular basis by this, that's clinical depression. Correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it's a chemical imbalance.
So then that leads us into your next point, which is that depression is not your fault because it's psychological and medical. Is there always a medical component?
Not necessarily. It could be situational depression, something like extended grief, or can throw someone into a depression. But what we're really talking about here is more the clinical depression, and that is more of a chemical imbalance.
Well, that's why I think we should get to the signs of depression now. We have this list that you provided for us, some different ways of knowing that this might be happening to you. Loss of interest in things that you normally very much enjoy, feeling hopeless, a lack of self-esteem, changes in your appetite and your weight, having sleep problems, a lack of energy. So all of those things, do you need several of those, Christine, or maybe would one of them be enough?
For an actual diagnosis, you do have to have several in the category. Okay. If it's only 1 or 2, then you would not meet the criteria for clinical depression, but it could be something else. There are other mental health conditions that do overlap, so it's always worthwhile getting checked out.
What on that list, Christine, would you say you hear most often from people who say they feel they're depressed? Are there 1 or 2 symptoms on there that stand out to you?
Just the thought of feeling down, that's the biggie. That's the first thing everybody realizes is they just feel sad. They feel down, and they don't enjoy things that they used to enjoy. That, I think, is usually one of the first and primary indicators, is when you just can't get excited. You go to your kid's soccer game, and you enjoy seeing your child play, but it just doesn't have that same feeling as you're used to getting.
Ah, okay. So point 4 is to get help. I mean, that might be the one that is most obvious. Through therapy or medication, you say we should not let it go untreated. Where do you think we should start with that, with treatment?
It can start in a variety of places. As you said, I work for an online telehealth company, which helps some people get access that normally wouldn't be able to. You can go through your insurance company and get a referral for a therapist or a mental health provider. You can start with your primary care doctor. That's a great first line. Okay. Go to your primary care doctor who you already feel comfortable with and explain what's happening. They could be able to help you, or they could provide referral information for someone who's more specialized.
And finally, I really like this point, that depression does not discriminate, and that's why we shouldn't be embarrassed by it at all. It can affect anyone, from children to seniors, and some of the most successful people you know have suffered depression. Let's talk about that.
It really doesn't discriminate. It can be someone 100 years old, or hopefully not 5, but it does happen. We see it a lot in adolescence, unfortunately. As we said, it's a chemical imbalance. It's really no different. I explain this to my clients a lot, is someone who has diabetes has a chemical imbalance in their body, and they treat it as such. The brain is a part of the body. So if there is a chemical imbalance going on in the brain, it's no different. You wouldn't tell someone not to go get insulin for their diabetes. So I don't want people to feel like they can't go get the medications or treatment they need for a chemical imbalance in the brain.
Wow. That says it right there, Christine. We're putting up your website now, which is get.cerebral.com, and that's where we can get a hold of you and this service that you provide about the mental health assistance online. So thank you for providing that, and thanks for everything that you do. It's good to have you on today. Thanks, Christine.
Thank you.